I already had the chance to be guided through an ecstatic breathwork experience. It was a really releasing moment, deep, beautiful moment of connection. And I felt like you had so much wisdom within you. I really like the way that you're also finding the words that resonate with you. Yeah, I want to know more about those 14 years of experience, you know, where
Mm.
where you're coming from in terms of your spiritual path and your journey. So of course it can be more than 14 years.
Yeah. Well, I guess my first aware and spiritual experience was one dream in my childhood
Mm.
when I was communicating to some kind of creature or a being in the dream, and it was so real and so connected. It was just, I don't even know now what it was, but I was sure that this being is alive and existing.
Mm.
And I woke up and I was asking my mom, where is, I don't remember the name now, but it has the name. Where is da-da-da? Where is he? And she's asking, what da-da-da? Like, I saw him. I was talking to him. It was there. He was there. And I was finding and looking for him all the way throughout the house, but I couldn't find him. And it brought me a little bit of sorrow.
Mm.
Wow, where are you? We had such a good connection. It was so close. And then I just took paper and started to draw him.
Mm.
And it was unusual drawing because it wasn't kind of a usual two-dimensional or three-dimensional
Mm-hmm.
drawing. It was more kind of a flow. And even now, one of my expressions is this flow drawing and just letting it all through me. And it was kind of a beginning there. And now, as I remember it, it was kind of the first moment when I felt my mission here on earth, and it is to make the invisible become the visible,
Mm.
and to make the subtle be tangible, and to just bring it here, to bring all that I am or that we are in this spiritual or soul realm, to really make it and to be present here in flesh, embodied, alive.
Mm.
Um, that was one moment. Then I remember school was just a great disconnection from myself and teenage years. And but in the high school, I just remember myself being really on the last being really on the last chairs and really not caring about anything. We were actually really, in a way, revolutionaries in the school, or kind of the bad boys, or and the really cool boys at the same time, as we
Mm.
were pro snowboarders, going only for 1 month to school with really like this sunshades. Always, oh, we don't know anything. We're just at the sports camp. And so it was always just a journey how to go around the system, how to go around the school,
Mm.
how to go around the structure, and to invent and be creative. And we were actually really good there. Just spending 1 month in school in the year and just making it all happen. It was amazing. But then I remember just doing like this, swinging in the chair, and just checking different feelings in my body. And it was, now I would say it's like Saharasra or the seventh chakra, or
Mm-hmm.
just different feelings up in the head. And I was like, oh, what is that? Like, but then as I see it from now, I was kind of just reconnecting to myself through that,
Mm.
kind of getting back to my intuition, back into myself, and really realigning. And yeah, and for a long time, society and school and high school and university wasn't really like, I kind of didn't believe in it at all. It was kind of a dream for me, kind of a fake dream in a way, as I always knew something more was there to be. And it was like just social structure just for the sake of the social structure,
Mm.
just because people didn't know how else it could be. So this is kind of my driving force in it. And for some parts of my life, it was really the kind of downfall and the really bohemic and the hippie and the experimenting with states, with people, with parties and all that. But even through that, there was kind of this light taking me through and kind of experiencing all these different states, all these different parties, all these different substances, different people, different vibes, different art forms, different creativity forms, but always looking for something more. And this ultimate connection was when really it was a communion with my higher I that kind of came to me when I was living in Switzerland. He kind of came to me and just he was shouting on me, "What are you doing with your life?" And from there I dropped all the toxic substances from me, and from then on it was 2009. Then was the clearing way, and from then on it's happening. And from then on I went to the first yoga initiation, which was like an ancient lineage of Kriya yogis, really like secret initiations that were only given by the parampara and the teacher line, or really through the sons and grandsons and like this, a really secret line. And this was completely kind of mind blowing as I got to experience kind of the deeper reality of who we really are, and just the space and just the awareness and the witness kind of behind this body and behind the different layers of our bodies. And from there it went through different journeys, through different practices, different traditions. I was all the time searching through different yogic traditions, shamanic traditions, Dao and Qigong traditions, through Vipassanas and the Buddhic traditions, through art of living and this particular yogic path. But all these ways, all these paths didn't kind of, they didn't went that deep into me. They're showing kind of a new perspective, a new method, a new way, but they really weren't like mine until like it was maybe 4 years ago, until I met this breath work that I'm doing now, and over variation already, what I'm doing now. It was basically a rebirthing breathwork variation that really brought me into such high state of actually expanding and going out of my body and seeing all my life. Why is it like that? How it was leading and where it's going. And in that first breathwork session, I saw that I need to learn this breathwork and that I'm taking this path. So it was a direct kind of clarity of what I should do in life. So from there on, I was just like, where can I learn it? How can I do it? And it was just a straightforward. Just I was looking for it for so long, and through all the different traditions before, I was there, but not really myself. And through this breathwork and through this modality, I really find, wow, it is really about myself and letting my being, letting my soul really work as it is in its freedom. And I still find it really a practice of freedom, where the ultimate thing is your connection. If the facilitator is connected and aligned with his higher self, with his heart, with his truth, then he is just the facilitator.
Yeah.
And as Leonard Orr, the rebirthing pioneer, once stated, well, we have certifications, but the only real certificator is the God, you know? So when you feel it and when you just know it and when you feel it, wow, I should just bring it to the world, I should just do it, then you should just do it. There's no other other authority, just of the real authority in you that can really
Yeah, totally resonate with this. And can you Can you tell more about your way then? Because I guess you've been creative through this way of breathing, and as you say, you know, it's your own connection, it's your own way to guide. So can you tell us about the way you guide people?
Now I call it flow as one breath work, as this is what we're here working on, the flow as one movement and the tribe and the understanding. And it is really about reconnecting to each and every one of us, really truly. And so our breathwork session is more of intuitive journey towards each and everybody of us. Because what I've met in my experience, so many different modalities, so many different ways that are in a way similar, and every one of it is shedding light on a different particular kind of aspect to human being and to their body, to their energy, to their emotions, to their feelings, to their memories, visions, dreams, mental images, thoughts, higher thoughts, intuition, real connection. And so basically I'm using the structures of energy cycle, which is the main thing in rebirthing as well. That the main and important thing is for a participant or a journeyer to complete the energy cycle. And an energy cycle is basically one full breath is a full energy cycle as well, that it's in and that it's out. It's like a circle, right? And it's a completion in itself. So throughout this breathing session or healing session or transformative session, we're about to really find for every and each of us what is their intention, what is their inner need, how do they really feel, and how do they want to transform this feeling, or is there something particular that somebody is longing for or needing, and then we work towards that. And it could be through different breath forms, through different speeds, through different retentions. It's just actually the journey to be experienced. I could stick to certain forms of breathwork or the longitude of it or the structure of it, but as I'm now finding in my experience that different people need different approaches
Totally, yeah.
and or different timings. So group sessions is always a big challenge of how to put it all together. It all starts in an original sense with private sessions, where one is actually introduced to the breath, how the breath is working in us, how we can actually expand more, how we can open up our breathing mechanism, which is actually the most traumatized thing as well. Our breath is actually holding all of that trauma, all of that contraction, all of that in itself. So really about when we are rediscovering this breath and ability to breathe freely and abundantly and easy, this is just the natural way of healing ourselves, just by breathing properly, just by breathing easy, abundantly, joyfully. And the thing is, we can do it in the regular life, in the daily life, and it is one thing, it is our conscious breath. But then when we go into the session where we actually meet our unconscious parts, then conscious rhythm takes over, right? And when we really go into this journey, then that is which is hiding in you, or the thing you are hiding from or you're suppressing or something,
Embracing.
is really coming up. If you're really just trusting and letting it come, then it's really about clearing up and coming up in the most loving and subtle and joyful way. And this is what I actually encourage people who are sometimes just a little bit scared of these sessions, because well, they may be really revolutionary, really evolutionary. They may bring so much insight, so much reconnection, so much wow, so much aha, that just from the reviews or the testimonials of other people, they're like, oh wow, is it really for me? Am I really ready? But I'm saying that you are always ready as you are. It's just about stepping this first step towards yourself. Because really, this life, actually, if we look at it in the bigger perspective, it's just so short. It's so short timeline to really experience all that that you came for. And for some, it's a great luck of being in a good space, good family, or good care. It already started from the childhood. For some, it's not that easy path if there's some trauma, if there's some abuse, if there's anything there behind. At the same time, it's just the great power in our trauma and in our mess, in a way, lies our greatest message as well. So as we heal ourselves, we actually become the masters of it, so we can share it to others. And most important thing we can share is really our presence. Just sometimes in our presence, people get easy, funny, joyful, happy, free, right? And some presences bring just contraction, censorship, rightness. Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I looking good? Or some presence is just total acceptance of who am I. Yeah. So it is just of coming who you are. Yeah. And all of these sessions is just about coming in the way you are.
Beautiful. Thank you. Breathing is it's revolutionary, but in like now in this I mean it's not revolutionary in the fact that it's so ancient, and you know, ancient practices and philosophy already they knew that the breath was so powerful and just enough, you know. So I think it's kind of interesting as well to go back to this. Hey, this is the first thing that we do when we are asked when we are born. You know, it's like first thing that you asked to do is breathe, breathe, baby, breathe. You're alive. You know, and why do you think it's so scary for people to go into this? Like, do you have any with your experience? Yeah, like also related to the question you asked me, but why is it so scary for, you know, for people sometimes to do something that we are doing in you know, with the breath is we don't even think about it, and this is why we are alive. And but why is it so scary to go deeper into this?
Well, ultimately, all of this experience here in our bodies as human beings is just about disconnection, because we disconnected from the big, from the whole. We came here, we contracted in a small embryo, in a small baby, to ultimately forget of what we really were, right? And then our first breath here in this world, it actually carries the biggest weight on us. And in this first breath lies all of our deepest imprints on our deepest beliefs of how the world is. Is the world safe? Am I here accepted? Is love available? Am I in good hands? Do I receive support? Am I loved? Am I taken here really as I am?
Yeah.
Is it safe for me to be really, really as I am? And all of this actually is just the first biggest event in our lives, which is our birth, which for most of people and for most of civilization is traumatic. The birth, the first trauma by being embodied. So all this reminder of being present, breathe, connect back to yourself is actually bringing back to unconscious memories that, wow, it was scary.
Yeah.
It was, I couldn't take it. It was impossible. I was just
Yeah,
'cause-
nature is so well done because we're not even we're not able to remember it cognitively, you know.
So basically, the way how civilization is put here is through birth, right? Is through incarnating into these bodies. So it's the great thing of how we do it, and of those women and those couples and those communities who know, who learn, who go into these trances, who go into these breathing knowledge, who go into these somatic practices, women who go into this orgasmic and ecstatic births and births in water. That is like actually the healing of the species, like to make the arrival safe, to make the arrival harmonious, because there's so much factual data of these rebirthers or people working with the first like traumatic imprints at birth that really you can write like books of it. It's like a specific niche of psychology, even the birth psychology and the respiratory psychology, that tells us that how we breathe, so we live. So that the breath is so intricately connected with the life itself. And in lots of ancient languages, breathe is similar to live. So it's almost the same, right? Or in English, for example, inspire or inspira, right? To inspire, to take in new wisdom, energy, insight, and all this. So it really is about that, of reconnecting to who we really are. At the same time, all the great masters, all the great yogis, they go beyond the breath. And that is what the retention, the breath retention, teaches us too, right? that when our breath is here, our life is here. But then when we actually transcend the breath,
Yeah.
we can go beyond this life, this body, and reach
This
just
in and out.
this outer like layers of our existence, where we can also find ourselves. You know, all those yogis that sit for endless years, for hundreds of years, thousands of years in their bodies, who are not actually dying or disassembling, right?
Composing.
Just because they're connected, but they're doing their job on another level still. At the same time, what is your mission in life? What is our mission in life? To really go in the cave, or to really embody ourselves and to experience just the fullness of life with all its glory, with all its beauty, with all its tastiness, with all its ecstatic aspect of it, of its bliss aspect, of its abundance, and all this, right? This is life. If you have come here to really experience life, then do it. And breath can lead you there. Of really.
And yeah, you know, I'm also thinking in a context of of course, yeah, beauty, glory, light. There's also polarities, you know. So it's also dark, violence, death, and yeah, trauma, and in a context of war as well. I wonder if I myself was like, I would like to go to these countries that are experiencing terrible experiences and loss and numbness and shutdowns and, you know, survival modes. And I would love to, obviously I do it through my energy and light sending, because I know it is powerful. And I would love myself to go and be like, let's breathe together, you know. And yeah, I wonder how it can be as well available to those people that are, you know, like living in a, we are here in such a beautiful spot, and I feel like there is an easiness to talk about all of this and embrace it, and it's so important to honor this chance to be here right now, and also how, you know, we can bring awareness into the mission of helping people there we could feel where it's at the moment not available for, you know what I mean? I don't know if you it's a tough conversation. Maybe we don't have to go there, you know, maybe we can also.
Yeah, but it is really important. I mean, it's not, we can transition to the answers here, which is like huge and timeless and eternal answers of what really love is, of what really compassion is, of what really care is
Yeah.
for all living beings that are here. But if we would start from just breathwork practice and somebody who is really in great pain or great suffering, um, it's really about this ability to be compassionate and to be there with him or with her and not losing yourself at the same time. Because what is happening in these traumatic experiences that we disconnect and we lose connection, right? We lose connection to our breath, to our love, to the source, and we just kind of, no, you are a little body, you are here suffocating, suffering, in pain, you are one, you are cut, you are lonely, and all that. And in these situations, if a human being must go through these situations, he can really write in his system and his data, his inner data, that life is really unsafe, that
Yeah.
it's impossible to trust, that love is not available, that care is not available, and then just walk
Yeah.
through this life. But this is, in a way, this is true, but at the same time, it is lies. So the deepest suffering, in a way, it brings a possibility to stay. If we stay just there, then it is a lie. It is a lie in the perspective to the higher force, that not only this is real. At the same time, you can breathe, you have body, maybe you can still witness, you can still feel, even if it's pain. Maybe it's just there for you. It may sound really behind the borders here, but maybe you have just come here to experience this pain, this loss, and all this, to actually become stronger, expand, go beyond, to live through it. Not to mention even all the karmic aspects. And if we really tune in our deepest wisdom and say, hey, is this universe really fair? Right? If we really tune in there, and from trauma perspective and from loss perspective, maybe I say, no, God is cruel. How can he do such things to children, to innocent people? At the same time, if you tune in even more and even deeper, it is in the greatest perfection it has ever been, and it is always in the greatest perfection. And still, we are here to bring this perfection into life and this balance of things, right? Because, well, this life is about day and night. It is about tides, it is about highs and lows, and it is about really embracing this experience as it is. And we can do it because we are more than it. as in the yin and yang sign, or in the the light and the dark, there is the third always, right? There's the third in the microcosm, which could be our sacred heart, which is always there for us, uh, behind any darknesses or evils or any goods or goodnesses. It's always there as it is, always ready to be compassionate with all that is there.
Yeah.
And our higher being, our most expanded self, that is really, if we connect to it as ether or as akash or as the bigger just space where it's all happening, is just the space of compassion and learning and of experiencing it all, right? So choose your side.
Yeah.
Or go beyond the sides. Okay, and well, we don't know how far we go here, but I just want to share with somebody who is probably watching and hearing this, and probably feeling an inner impulse of empowerment, that you are probably here for others, and that you are probably wanting to take this leap of faith into helping others to thrive, to awaken, to go through different hardships, or to help people reach their ecstasy and their bliss and their goodness in life. Then this breath work and flows one facilitator training may be just for you, as it is a modality of really embracing different sides of healing, different sides of trauma release, different sides of energizing yourself, different sides of recalibrating your most inner and most deepest beliefs, and how to do it and how to help other people do it, or how to just live in abundance and gratitude and the most wellness available to you. And probably you can meet very different, because I have this dream of uniting different facilitators in this course to actually show this knowledge as something bigger, as a meta therapy, not just like breath work, this one, like somatic experience, this one, but a more holistic approach
Melting pot. Yeah.
of actually healing, rediscovering, rejuvenating, becoming back in your power, in your love and bliss, so we can really create this world into the beautiful paradise again.
Beautiful. Thank you, G.
Yay.
Thank you so much. Oh.